Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out of here well before the top of the hour and give you enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here Monday through Friday here on the Drive-Thru show at 6 p.m. each time, as we give you live free sports picks for the primetime games. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look at who'll be on the show for today. We got Jovan Burts to join us. Ninos is in the house. Trey Jordan, Chris Ruffolo, service co-host, and Brian Bitler. You'll catch him in the morning show holding that that award right there.
My journalism award.
That's right. Journalism award. I was going to say you're number one in college football. We're about 3 months away, so we're getting ready for that.
Too. But it's my journalism award. Yeah.
All right, journalism award from Brian Bitler. Here's how the lineup today: Bitler, Burts, Jordan, Ruffolo, Ninos, and then I will close this one out. All right, Chris, ready for the show here? Of course, not a big card, but we got to get both NBA picks in for the audience today.
Absolutely, quality over quantity today. Smaller card, that doesn't mean we can't pick out some winners. I'm ready to get it started, get some money in these people's pockets. Absolutely,
let's get money in people's pocket. Let's get the show started right now. We got a game, NHL hockey game starting at the bottom of the hour, so let's bring in Brian Bitler. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium, and of course the morning show. Brian, how's it going?
I'll tell you what, it's going good. I miss my Bash brother Joe D'Amico, but he'll be back. I'm sure the rest of the week. But it's just not the same without me and him. But I'm going to try to keep it going here with a winner in the NHL playoffs.
All right, let's get a winner in NHL playoffs here. 6:30 Eastern time. It's the Bruins that host the Islanders in this one. Of course, it's the Bruins who are the big favorites here. $1.95 total sits here at 5.
The Islanders have really been fighting hard all season long. It's no fluke that this series is tied 2 games to 2, with the Islanders coming off that huge home victory. I see this series going 7 games, and normally I don't like the late juice here, but I see this as a 1-goal game, 3-2, 2-1, somewhere in that range. So take the plus 1.5 with the Islanders. It's going to get you paid tonight easily. It's a little bit juicy, but for the safety purposes, I'm going to take that puck at half.
All right, Brian Bitler here going to take the goal and a half here on the puck line with the Islanders minus 170 here against the Boston Bruins. All right, Chris, what say you in this exciting series?
You know what? I'm going to go one step further. I'm just going to take Islanders outright on the money line. I think they've got all the momentum. I don't know if they're going to have another 3-goal third period like they did in Game 4 to tie up the series, but I said it all season. Something just feels different about this Boston team, and not in a good way. They haven't been the same dominant team, and while they've been a tough out at home over the years, New York's just having success in this series. So I'll take the shot with the big plus money in the Islanders.
All right, Chris on the Islanders to win. Of course, Brian with the puck line plus 1.5 goals. So 1-goal loss still gets you the money here, minus 170 against the Boston Bruins. 6:30 Eastern time. You can watch this one on NBC Sports Network. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium. Of course, there is a light card, but there are bettable games up there for you from baseball and NBA. What do you have going on over at the site?
I'll tell you what, it might be a small card, but I absolutely love the 3 games that I put out today. And I could have added a 4th one, but I wanted to keep it. I'm a little bit superstitious. I like to keep my plays at odd numbers. And tonight I got my Monday night money shot 3-pack. Get my 3 best bets for $40 at pigdogs.com premium pick section. 2 NBA, 1 Major League Baseball. Off a winning day. We're going to try to follow it up with another winning day tonight. Make sure you get on board.
All right, guys, get on board here with Brian Bitler over at Pig Dogs Premium. He's got his 3 plays up for tonight. Get on board with that. Of course, with that 1-day pass, take those winnings, make the upgrade to the 3, 7, and 30 All-Sports Pass. You'll get every play that Brian releases over at Pig Dogs Premium for that time you select when you go to the profile page and you make that purchase. Of course, Brian, you're part of the morning show. Of course, that YouTube Premium membership out there, which is great value to the listeners and viewers.
Yeah, and a lot of people out there love to subscribe to podcasts, and I believe the $50 option is a great option. You get picks from me, Rod, Mitch, Romanelli on the weekend. 30 days worth of plays from 4 guys for $50 a month. Can't beat it. Or you can upgrade to the VIP package, and you get an extra group of picks later in the day. Late steam money moves. Definitely the best value in handicapping.
That's right, guys. You get that YouTube membership. Follow the link below and get on board. All right, Brian, it's always great having your show. We'll tune in tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, you're with Rod Zawacki and Mitch. I think Rod's going on vacation, right?
Rod's going to be on a little vacation, so it's going to be up to me to battle it out with Mitch. Hopefully nothing goes awry. I keep my job over that period. I don't go too crazy. But it's going to be fun for sure.
All right, we'll tune in. All right, Brian, have yourself a good evening. Brian Bitler here on the drive-through. All right, let's continue on here with our coverage. Now it's time to get an NBA game in. We're going to go ahead and welcome to the show Jovan Burts. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium, as well as he's one of the newer Kappas here on the show doing fantastic work. So let's go ahead and bring Jovan in right now as we're looking at that Denver Nugget game from tonight. I think we've got this one ready to go here. Here we go. Jovan, how's it going?
Hey, man, you know me, smooth as always.
Smooth as always. All right, here we go. TNT tonight, 10 Eastern time. Game 1 of the series with the Suns to host the Nuggets. The Suns going to lay 5 here, total 221.5.
Yeah, so for game 1, I'm on the under. Now, if you look at the 3 games that they played this season, the over went 2-1, but that could be a bit deceiving because 2 of those games went to overtime, and one of those 2 overtime games, one of them in regulation was well under the total, and it took a miraculous, overtime effort to even push it over the total. So these 2 teams, they played tight. They played tight in like maybe the last 6, or Denver has basically had the upper hand in the last 6. But the 3 games this year was tight, low scoring affairs, slow paced games, and Phoenix, they know how to play Nikola Jokic. DeAndre Ayton, according to Jokic himself, he said that DeAndre Ayton plays him the best out of anyone in the league. And while Jokic is gonna get his, he's gonna have a bit of trouble, getting those points. And the other guys on this team, I mean, they might have some lapses where they don't score, and that's what you saw during the Blazers series. And the Blazers, they were one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Now you're facing the a Suns team that's one of the best defensive teams that know how to play Jokic and company, and added the dynamic that there's no Jamal Murray and the guard play just isn't clicking. Yeah, I think this is gonna go way under the total.
All right, Jovan Burts here is going to go under total 221.5 here with the Nuggets and the Suns. All right, Chris, what say you in this one? We know the Suns playing great defense. We look here, allowing 41% shooting to the Lakers here in the final series, although the Nuggets not so much here, giving up 47% in that series against the Trailblazers. How do you see this? Of course, this will be at home here for Phoenix.
Yeah, and I think the key to that was the fact that Portland plays at a much faster pace than Lakers do, so the numbers may be a little bit deceiving after the opening round. I'm taking the Nuggets in the points tonight. I just think that, there is a bit of value to be had with the Nuggets, even though Denver's burned me quite a lot this season. We've seen Jokic finally get the secondary scoring that he needed, that he wasn't getting when Jamal Murray went out of the lineup. Campazzo's helping out. Michael Porter Jr. has been a revelation. Aaron Gordon's picked up the slack. So I think there's enough options for Jokic to dish the ball out if he gets in trouble against DeAndre Ayton. I think we see another close game tonight.
All right, Chris likes the points. And, of course, Jovan here going to look at the home team with the under. Keep that pace, slow it down here. Under 221.5, Nuggets and Suns. And this one, 10 p.m. Eastern time, your doubleheader game on TNT. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium tonight. Well, you're showing positive results here past 30 days. Handful of games up there on the board. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, so I had one game go off the board. This weekend, I took it on the chin, had 2 rough days, Saturday and Sunday, but Monday's been treating me well. So it's, my money bag Monday, 3 NBA plays, all that Pig Dogs. You could check me out on my 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day passes, or you could match me up with one of the other cappers for the 2-for-1 cappers. It's all there at Pig Dogs place, Pig Dogs and Sports Chat place.
All right, guys, got a board here with Jovan Burts over at Pig Dogs Premium for his place for tonight. Of course, get those up and picking up those long-term passes for 3, 7, and 30L Sports Pass. We have the 2-for-1 capper promotion. You can match Jovan with any other capper out there, like James Clark, who's smoking in the NBA. Big Al McMorty, great year in 2021. We got Rod Zawacki doing great in baseball. A number of cappers up there to choose from. 2-for-1 capper promotion, your best value over there at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Jovan, as always, great having your show. Well, have yourself a great night, and we'll talk with you on Friday.
Have a great night, great week, win, and see you on Friday.
Absolutely. Win and see you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show, guys. Just a reminder, if you would, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have free picks every single day. Of course, it all gets started with the morning show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We got Mitch, Rod Zawacki, and Brian Bitler delivering winners for you. Of course, we got those YouTube member shows. You want to become a member of those premium shows? Well, just follow the link below and sign up. That's great value right there. And of course, we're here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in. Of course, as we always say, guys, to help us build our audience, give it that thumbs up, those likes. We greatly appreciate it, Chris.
Absolutely, Tony. We do. I mean, it's the meter of how we know that what we're doing is working. I mean, you guys give us those thumbs up. You guys are the ones we do this for. So if you like it, great. You give us the thumbs up. And if you don't like it, well, we figure out with something that you will like. But giving us the thumbs up helps us get the product out there. Maybe people who haven't seen us before. And I mean, like I always say, who doesn't like making free money, right? We're going to get tons of money in your pockets just watching the show. But if you guys could give us a thumbs up, it's right underneath the feed. We really appreciate all the love and support. It really helps us out a ton.
Yeah, those thumbs up, those likes, keep them coming in, guys. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We're going to get you the NBA game here between the Bucks. The Bucks here to face the Brooklyn Nets. So let's welcome Trey Jordan to the show. Trey, how's it going?
It's going well. How y'all doing?
Doing great, doing great. All right. I know Lieutenant Senior is really excited with Julio Jones coming out your way, but we'll look here at some NBA tonight. Julio. Nets to host the Bucks here. The Bucks are favored on the road of 1, total 237.5.
Yeah, I got on this earlier this morning with plus the points, but I still like the Bucks tonight to win game 2. They shot terrible behind the arc first game, 6 for 30. And I just don't see that happening again. They're top 5 and threes point percentage this year, and number 1 offensive team in the league. Also leaning for this one to go over, but they start off like underdog now, they're the favorite, and Nets are 1-7 their last 8 playoff games as an underdog, and 0-4 the last 4 games as an underdog. Bucks 4-1 the last 5 playoff games as a favorite against the spread, and they're 16-4-1 in their last 21 in Brooklyn. After losing last game, they were 9-1 the last 10 games in Brooklyn. I just see without Harden tonight, they're going to be ready. Had feeling from game 1, ready for the Nets without Harden, and I think they lock them up and shoot better from 3, which is the main thing there. So I'm taking the Bucks tonight.
All right, Trey's going to look at the Bucks here. Money line, minus 115 against the Brooklyn Nets, 7:30 Eastern time. This one you'll be able to watch over on TNT. All right, Chris, what say you here? We know the Bucks just a really miserable shooting night, that performance there in that loss in game 1 from 3. Of course, Harden was no factor, played 43 seconds, and the Nets were able to win and cover game 1.
Yeah, it was the story for the latter part of the season. I mean, the Nets were fantastic offensively, and they were doing it without James Harden. So this is a team that knows how to play without him. Unfortunately, you want him in the lineup, but it is what it is, and at least they're used to playing without him. And Tony, like you said, I don't think Milwaukee can shoot much worse than they did in game 1. So I'm on the over as well. I expect the offense to pick up for Milwaukee, and I expect it to keep up for Brooklyn in this one.
All right, Chris looks over, and Trey will be on the Bucks money line to win the game, minus 115 against the Brooklyn Nets. And this one has a tip-off time, 7:30 Eastern time on TNT. All right, Trey, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs. Handful of games up there tonight. We've got some hockey action as well. What do you have going on over at the site?
Oh, yeah. I got my pack coming off here in 10 minutes, so I'm making another one, hoops, home runs, and hockey late trade pack. It's going to start with your late NHL Stanley Cup playoff game tonight. So jump on that, or I think for twice the money you can get 3-day pass, or pair me up with one of these guys. Jovan Burts, James Clark, Tony, Chris, Al Ninos killing it right now. That, or jump on the long-term package. It's going to save you money and will make you money. So jump on those.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Trey Jordan over Pick Dogs Premium. He has a pass going on right now. Get on board with that 1-day pass, and of course take the winnings and go long-term. 3, 7, and 30 Sports Pass will get you every play that Trey releases over at Pick Dogs Premium. And of course, the 2-for-1 cap promotion is your best value up there. Match up Trey with one of the other cappers there on the site. And of course, you'll get all their plays here for a reduced price when you go for the 2-for-1 cap promotion, the best value there at Pick Dogs. All right, Trey, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
All right, Trey Jordan here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on with our coverage. Hey, now it's time for Chris, front and center. You're going to give us a series pick here as we're looking at this Atlanta Hawks and Philadelphia 76ers series, which started off with a Hawks win in game number 1 as Trey Jordan went off in this one. But it's not all Trey Jordan. He's got some help with this Atlanta team, and of course Philadelphia's got to have their concerns here with the health of Embiid and see how that knee responds here in game number 2, Chris. And of course you're looking here at the series price with 76ers and Hawks.
Yeah. And, I think that if you looked at the 4 series that we have in the conference semis, before any of them started, you probably would have thought this one probably would have been the least likely to be the most competitive in the series of the 4. Problem is, I think this is actually going to be the tightest series that we see in the entire round. Now, early assumption, Atlanta's not going to make 23s again. Sixers actually shot better from the field in game 1. Joel Embiid had a game-high 39. Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons had a double-double apiece. Seth Curry had 21 points. The Sixers poured in 41 points fourth quarter, and it still wasn't enough. Mainly because, the Hawks made 10 more threes, and Philadelphia missed 11 more free throws than the Hawks did. And, Atlanta shooting 95% from the foul line that game. That was the big difference. The Sixers shooting 70% from the foul line this postseason. The Hawks have been a different team under Nate McMillan. This is a team that was last in the league in scoring defense. 5th worst in opponent shooting percentage last year. Now they're 12th in both. Now, obviously, the size for the Sixers could pose a problem to Trae Young, but we've seen it earlier in the series and in the New York series. The Hawks have guys like Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter, Danilo Gallinari, all of whom had at least 8 threes in that New York series. They can at least force the Sixers to come and close out further out on the arc, and they can give guys like Clint Capella and John Collins more space in the paint to work with. Now, Joel Embiid looked good in that game 1, but I think that was more adrenaline than anything. And, I think over the course of the season, it's going to have more and more of an effect on him. And that's not even considering that he could make the injury worse. And we saw the Sixers don't want to have to deal with that. It's that old cliche. The Hawks are playing with house money, and the most dangerous opponent is a team with nothing to lose. This is a Hawks team that drafted 8th overall. They were 14th in the East last year. Meanwhile, in Philly, they're trusting the process, and this is the year where they're expecting a title. I just think the pressure is going to be too much. I think Trae Young's embraced the role of a villain over the course of the playoffs, and I think that's just going to add fuel to his fire. I like the Hawks to win this series, and I think there's also value at taking the Hawks to win the series 4-2, so Hawks and 6 at plus 450.
All right, Chris is going here with the Hawks to win best of 7 here against the Sixers here at plus 112. Chris, I'm going to ask you a question here because this game 2 is a situation where you might have a desperate Sixers team, and maybe they eke out a win, maybe they won't. That can possibly happen. But if you see this series tied at 1-1, is it even? Are you going to double down on your bet and look at even at the Hawks here at even a better price with the series tied at 1?
Absolutely. I think this is a case where you just check the price game by game. If you haven't gotten in on the Hawks yet, and you think the Hawks are going to win game 2, get on the price now. If you think the Sixers are going to win game 2, maybe wait a little bit and see if you get a better price if the Sixers end up winning, game 2 to make it a 1-1 series. But if the Hawks win game 2, hop on that price because it's probably not going to get much better the rest of the way. If the Sixers go down 0-2, they are going to be desperate. But we've seen how, raucous this Atlanta crowd can be. And, with Trae Young having them behind him, I think that's just going to add to his energy, and I think it's going to just make it harder for the Sixers to really come back.
I got to say one thing here with Trae Young. Playing in the Big 12, he's used to some raucous arenas playing on the road. And it doesn't seem and one thing they have very great performances here in road venues. I mean, they go into New York, Madison Square Garden, look fantastic.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm going to quote a Kid Rock song. It's not being cocky or bragging if you can back it up. And that's exactly what he's done. He did that in the New York series, and like I said, you could tell that he's just embracing the role of villain. He's there to play his game. He's there to have his guys back, and then, whatever happens, happens. He's not scared of those hostile environments because, like you said, Tony, the Big 12 can be raucous. We've seen it like in venues like Texas, West Virginia, which is one of the toughest road environments in the country, Texas Tech. All these places are hard, and Trae Young's gone there, been there, done that. And I think that's one of the very nice things that's carried over for the Hawks from Trae Young from college to the pros. And like you said, I think he's handling it very well. I think it's good. It's better in the long run as well.
And don't forget, he was a marked man in college because that's all it was. Oklahoma, that's all he was, right? He stopped Trae Young, you win the game, right?
Well, of course, he's used to being the guy that has to, shoulder the heavy load, and we've seen him shoulder those heavy loads scoring. But now he's got a guy, a key piece alongside him like Bogdanovich who can hit threes. Man, the amount of open threes I've seen this guy hit in the New York and even in Game 1, it's fantastic to see. He's getting help. He's got some solid pieces like Capella and Collins beside him. You give a scorer some pieces to help out, they're only going to get better as time goes on.
The reason why I thought maybe you wait for after game 2. Now, of course, the Sixers have to. If they win the game, then you're going to get. You'll obviously get better price with the 1-1 series. I'm just thinking about Embiid's knee with how much wear and tear that has as we go deeper in the series. Atlanta might be the look there as we get to game 5 and beyond.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen an inadvertent clash of knees going up for a rebound, or going back on defense and he plants the wrong way, and then all of a sudden he's down on the floor. So I completely agree with you, Tony. I think that over the course of the series, I think that this injury is progressively going to get worse and harder to play through for Embiid. And even if the Sixers make it out of this round, it's going to be even harder when they get to the conference finals. I think Embiid's just playing on borrowed time right now, and I just think that if you win game 2, I'm not saying to have a load management day or anything, but I would not be surprised if you saw Embiid sitting for either game 3 or game 4 to try to at least get another game out of his knee. Just because I think that that's where the Sixers are. They want to have him for as much as possible. And they know going back home, they could steal a couple games here and there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Embiid sat out game 3 or 4 if the Sixers win the next one.
Possibly. All right, Chris's play here. Atlanta Hawks to win best of 7 series against the 76ers, plus 112. And he says, don't get discouraged if it's a 1-1 series. You may look to take the Hawks at a better price in Game 3 if that is the case. I'm sorry, after Game 2 if that is the case. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pig Dogs Premium. Well, it's a handful of games tonight, but there are good quality games, no doubt. With the NBA, Major League Baseball, what do you have going on over the site?
And just one more point, Tony's right. Don't be discouraged because that Hawks and New York series was 1-1 as well. Look how that turned out. But as far as tonight goes, I got my black card trio. My black card is one of my most profitable plays, and I've got a trio of them. I got one from each sport, and I got my top NBA play, my top MLB, and my top NHL play. 3 plays that you can put any amount on. It's coming back to you, nothing but pure profit. Guys, go check that out over at Pick Dogs. Got it for $29.95. Or, I got the 3-day, 7-day, 30-day passes. We all do. We also got the 2-for-1 capper deal. Pair me up with anyone you see on the show or anyone on the website for that matter. You can get the host duo with me and Tony. You can get me and Jovan, Trey, Al Ninos. You can get me with Rod, get the original Puck Dogs. The possibilities are endless for you there. And I still have the playoff pass up there. I reduced it even more. $150 for the rest of the playoffs in the NBA. You're not going to find much better value than that. I can promise you we are going to tear it up over the next few weeks. Go check it out over at Pick Dogs Premium. I can promise you won't regret it.
Yeah, that's right, guys. I got Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. Got some plays up for tonight. Of course, the long-term pass is the way to go. 3, 7, and 30 all sports pass means you get every play that Chris releases over at Pick Dogs Premium. For the time period you select when you go over to the profile page and make the purchase, 2-for-1 capper promotion, add a second capper at a reduced rate, even better value. As he said, you can go with Chris and Jovan. You want to go with Chris and James Clark, who's tearing up in the NBA this year. Of course, Big Al McMorty tearing up for 2021, and Shore, who's been doing very good work as well. So a 2-for-1 capper promotion over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, let's continue here on the show. We're going to get some baseball coverage here. Let's go ahead and welcome El Ninos to the show. You can find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. By the way, if you're just joining the show and you miss any of the picks, we're going to do a complete recap at the end of the show. We'll have both NBA picks for you tonight when we do the recap as well, if you happen to miss it. All right, El Ninos, let's bring in El. El, how's it going?
Going pretty good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. All right, some baseball from Southern California here. The Angels will host the Royals MLB Extra Innings channel. The Angels are minus 155, not plus 155. Minus 155, the total sits at 9.
Yeah, don't believe everything you read online. You might see the Los Angeles Angels, but the Royals will be headed to Anaheim. It's still Anaheim Angels to us Dodgers fans. You know that, Tony. But yeah, they're headed there after splitting their series against the Twins. They lost the last matchup 2-1. Split that series 2 apiece. Jackson Kawhi will be making his MLB debut. I've faded quite a few rookies making their first starts recently, but this isn't a guy I'm looking to fade, especially, not yet at least, and especially not against Dylan Bundy. So, yeah, Kansas, they started to heat back up a bit before those last 2 losses where they combined for just a total of 5 runs. But again, they're in a great spot to wake their offense back up and get back on the right track against Bundy here. Couple other different looks you can look at with this game is the first 5 innings. You could take another plus money play at the first 5 money line, since we have an advantage here with the starting pitcher. Or I think there's a lot of value too on. I know I don't usually like turning a money line dog into laying juice, but with if you lay the half run in the first 5 innings, you're just laying minus 115. If you don't mind laying that, I think that's a lot of value there too. But yeah, we're going with the full game money line for our play for the show here. Royals.
Right, Ninos here full with the money line here. Royals plus 139 against the Angels. I can't argue that, Chris, because when you look at the minor league numbers for Jackson Kowar, they've been very impressive.
Absolutely. They have 5-0 with a .85 ERA. He's been shredding up AAA, but I'm looking at the under in this one only because I can't believe I'm saying the words under and Dylan Bundy in the same sentence. I think he's going to be on a very short leash. And on top of that, if he starts to fall apart, they're going to give him a quick hook. And he's still trying to hold on to a spot in that rotation. And it's hanging on by a thread right now, given how he's pitched lately. So I think he has to pitch a lot better. Will he pitch better well enough to give up 4 runs or less? I'm not sure, but I think we end up finishing under the total.
All right, Chris likes under, but Al likes the KC Royals plus 139 with this hot prospect on the mound here for the KC Royals and their bats right now against a pitcher that, it's just an ERA near 8 at home this season. All right, Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dog's premium before we let's pick up Pick Dog premium tonight. We got a handful of games, but you're just rocking and rolling up there. 1,676 units of profit past 30 days. That is all documented. You go over to Pick Dog's premium, you see the results. What do you have going on over at the site?
Not much going on in the world of sports today, but I do have a 3-pack with my best NBA, NHL, and MLB play. Or if you want to grab a long-term pass, I have a play on the later game as well in the NBA. Could have probably bet every game and put them up there. This definitely would have looked good on the premium side as well. And almost played the Angels game, but I stayed off it thinking Pablo Lopez was going, but. Yeah, missed out on that one anyway. So grab that 3-pack, grab a long-term pass, 2 for 1, whatever you're into. All great deals. Go check them out. Big Dog Sports Chat Place.
That's right, guys. Check out Al Ninos over at Pick Dog. You see the number 1,676 units of profit past 30 days. That is all documented. And if you go and check it out, you'll be able to see it there. And, of course, get on board with his long-term pass as well. 3, 7, and 30 Al Sports Pass. You get every play that Al releases over at Pig Dogs Premium. Why don't you match him up with Big Al, the Big Al, Little Al, 2-for-1 cap promotion. Big Al doing great work here. Number 1 for 2021. Big Al McMorty. All right, Al Ninos, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you then, guys.
All right, El Ninos here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, continuing our coverage. Keep those thumbs up, those likes coming in, guys. We greatly appreciate it. Helps us build our audience. And again, if you missed any of the picks on the show today, we're going to do a complete recap. We did get both NBA games covered on the show. So after my pick, we're going to go ahead and to do the recap. And I'm going to be looking at the game for Major League Baseball. This is on ESPN tonight between the Padres and the Cubs. The Cubs are dogs here. Padres minus 122. Total sits here at 8. And with my free pick on the show today, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to take the Chicago Cubs here in this one at the plus money here, plus 107 against San Diego. Adbert Alzolay will get the start. When you look at his numbers here over the past 3 games, they've been pretty good. I mean, he's on 4 runs with 2 homers in his, I should say 2 homers. He's allowed over his past 3 games. He's been in pretty good form. But one thing I'll say this about the Cubs. When they face left-handed starters, they've been fantastic. Let's go back to this Alzolay stats. I found my notes on him again. 3 earned runs in his past 17 and 2/3 innings of work. Now, it's Ryan Weathers is going to counter for the Padres. He faced the Cubs 6 days ago, and he allowed 4 earned runs with 2 homers in 5 innings and a loss. Here's the left-handed numbers, the stats on the left-handed starters for the Cubs. So they've won 13 of their past 17 against left-handed starters, averaging over 6 runs a game. Padres have lost 2 straight, 6 of 8 after that 6-2 loss to the Mets. You look at the past 10 games, Padres hitting only .218 as a team. Cubs bullpen ERA in that period, pretty good. ERA 1.82, whip at just 1.03. Again, the spot here, they hit Weathers when they faced him a few days ago. They get another left-handed starter here in Weathers again. I'm going to take the Cubs here, Chris, at the plus 107.
Yeah, I got to sold on Ryan Weathers to begin with. And, the Padres, like you said, lost 6 of their last 8 games. They haven't been making contact with the ball. They've only put up 2.25 runs per game over that 8-game stretch. So with the way the Cubs, especially against left-handed hitting, I've got to look at the Cubs here as more of a fade of the Padres right now than anything else.
All right, Graham here on the Cubs, plus 107 against the Padres. This is your game on ESPN, and this one will get started here at 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium. I have a 3-pack going on right now, a couple of the NBA and a baseball, so check me out over at Pick Dogs Premium. I'm also part of the 2-for-1 capper promotion, so you can match me up with another capper here on Pick Dogs. We'll go with Chris. You want to go with Big Al Ninos, as well as James Clark, who's doing great work in the NBA. Of course, check me out there at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, let's continue on here with the coverage. And now it's time to go ahead and do the show recap. Al Ninos will join us here as he does on Mondays with the recap. We got started here with Brian Bitler. Islanders puck line plus 1.5 goals, minus 170 against the Bruins. Jovan was on Nuggets Suns under 221.5. Trey says Bucks money line minus 115 against the Nets. Chris, Atlanta Hawks to win best of 7 series against the 76ers. That one's about plus 112 right now. Al Ninos, Royals plus 139 against the Angels. Yours truly, Cubs plus 107 against the Padres. We'll start with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
Well, Tony, I've got to keep it on the panel with you. I like the Cubs plus 107 against the Padres. I just can't go against Chicago the way they crush lefties.
All right, let's go over to Al Ninos. Al, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I will go with the Islanders, but I would push it, as Chris said, to the money line, or at least split it money line, puck line. But yeah,
right.
You get that probably even money, but there's nice plus money on the money line, so worth a shot there, I think.
All right, the money line here with Islanders, and I'll go with Al Ninos, pick Royals plus 139 against the Angels. Not a big fan of Bunny, and this kid that they're starting tonight, it was pretty impressive numbers as we talked about coming in from the minors. Jackson Kowar, 6 AAA starts, ERA under 1, strikeout rate 34%. Give me him against Bundy. Bundy, who's been at home, an ERA near 8, and at Anaheim right now, where he's pitching with the Angels. All right, that'll do it for this edition here of the Drive Thru, guys. Tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll have 8 cappers booked, giving out live free sports picks for the primetime games. We'll have 15 baseball games to choose from, so it'll be a bigger card. So tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget, it all gets started with the morning show. 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Mitch, Rod's going to be on vacation, so you got Mitch and Brian Bitler, and there'll be also some surprise guests, some of the Pick Dog cappers helping out in the morning show as well, so tune in. All right, let's bring in our crew from today's show. We'll give you guys a nice wave off good night. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.